meditation, starting with knowing thyself, okay? Knowing who we are, what we are, and understanding that this awakening is actually part of, a call to us as if we were put here a long time ago as part of a contingency plan. Do you have any feelings on that?
Absolutely. I totally agree with everything you've just said, and I think technology is the fingerprint of our consciousness, and the technology has grown so much, which has allowed us to become one global, awakening consciousness together. Like the internet is such an amazing way to communicate, and absolutely, is it a coincidence that now at this turn when everything seems to be going a bit crazy, we have the ability to connect all over the world? And this is why we need to use the internet so much whilst we can, because who knows how they might try and control it in the future, because they end up controlling everything that they want to, because that's their aim, and it's our role to try and stop that.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your opinion on free speech? We saw today a woman getting arrested because she decided to shout a little louder and come a little farther than the others.
Yeah. It goes to show that the police force seem to be having a common purpose in this European superstate of ours. It's amazing, they seem to reflect exactly how the British police would react in that situation. And even though they were quite relaxed, I felt the Dutch police don't represent the general vibe of the Dutch community here. They left us alone, but they were a bit heavy-handed with the shouty protester, and all she was doing was speaking. And free speech should be allowed anytime, anywhere. You should be free to say anything, no matter how offensive or silly it might sound, which is one of the reasons we go around with a megaphone and say really silly things in public. Within the financial system, like any pyramid of control, and that's what I think where evil truly lies. It's in the pyramid hierarchy system where everyone has to follow the order of the person above them, so the corruption is inherent. If it comes down from the top, you suddenly control a lot of people, hundreds, thousands in a corporation. So I described it, I believe, as I was a fear and greed merchant. I sold as much fear as possible and as much greed. I was a financial advisor selling investments and life assurance. I used to tell people, whoa, you might get cancer, have life assurance. Or say you need to invest a lot of money in companies which might not be totally ethical. And think of the returns, think how much money you can make. And we all believed it was real, and we all pushed it. I needed to scrub very hard and have a shower every day to get the fear and greed off.
Yeah. Well, we've all sold ourselves to Satan at some stage. I too worked for the trifecta of evil, which is fashion, media, and marketing.
Oh.
Yeah. So I totally get that. And it's funny. It's those of us who have come from the dark side who see the most light. You know, because now we've been through the experience, we kind of realize how the inside is built up, and actually how much of a part we are. And this is one thing I learned with David Icke. He talks about if you don't have to rise to bring the system down, you just have to remove your acquiescence. Just remove your cooperation. And if every one of us, just for one day, decided to go to work, not to pay taxes, I mean, we're not violently rioting. That is the key, is realizing for the first time ever that doing nothing is probably the easiest thing and the best thing to do.
Yeah, exactly, just stop cooperating. A lot of people talk about the 100th monkey effect. Have you guys heard of that?
Yes, of course.
Well, the story comes from these islands where a few monkeys learned how to open nuts or something. And they said that once 1 in 100 monkeys had actually learned how to do that, then it spread across the world, or across the monkey world anyway. Suddenly they could all do it. So imagine it might not even be 1 in 100 we need. It might be 1 in 200, 1 in 300. So it might be really easy. As more people wake up to what's going on, they'll automatically not want to contribute to things which we find damaging. Warfare, poverty, hierarchies of control, these are things which you won't want to do because you'll see that they're not right, and you'll stop obeying that pyramid of control that comes down, and you go, hold on, I don't quite agree with this. So as you say, the non-cooperation, if we could get a lot of people to just not turn up for a war, I know that's a widely overused and much ridiculed expression. But so simple, and people didn't turn up for work until governments either turned good, and I think what we're all trying to do peacefully is to change the system peacefully, lovingly, and inherently. And it'd just be very interesting to see how the powers that be react to this challenge of their control. I hope it can be done peacefully, and we'll see.
Give us your opinion of what people can do. I mean, you obviously taken to the streets. You're very vocal. You're very active in raising awareness in your own special way, which you do very well. Today, you saw wonderful responses from people. Even people who initially, grabbed you with aggression were turned into the idea. I mean, it was just a wonderful demonstration of how the power of love is such a positive thing.
The power of love.
What do you think that people can do in their own way to raise the vibrations and contribute positively?
Hug as many people as possible on a daily basis. I say make a lot of love, have as much sex as you can with people that you trust, that you get on well with. That's it, yeah. And spread the general good vibes. And when you see authority figures like the police or private security, try and challenge them in a loving way to expose the illusion of their control. It's just they got given a uniform and signed their name on a piece of paper and suddenly they work for the Matrix. It's like, no, we need to kind of just remind people as we are evolving into this connected, loving, global mind whilst retaining individuality. And I'll come on to individuality in a second because that to me is absolutely vital in the work I do. But as we are connecting as individuals around the world, I think people just need to, another cliche, be the change they want to see. And by doing that, if you want a loving world, then project love, lead by example. It's not, you can't just tell people to be loving, you have to actually love yourself. And don't be scared of making a fool of yourself. Don't be scared of making yourself vulnerable and making mistakes, which we all make on camera. And I've made mistakes on camera and offended people, and we all make them because we're all on the journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, sadly we've been programmed by TV programs that life is meant to be perfect. We've set this unrealistic ideal. And one of the things I learned working in fashion is just how manipulated images are that we aspire to, and how they program people's perceptions of a false reality.
Of course.
And this is what we live out daily, and this is why we can't find satisfaction, because we never achieve the false ideal.
Yeah.
And once you realise that, the awakening process you go through is unbelievable.
No, like the media, Hollywood, all the advertising for L'Oreal or Lancome or Chanel,
by the way.
Chanel, Paco Rabanne, like all these stunning, naked, beautiful, young, waif-like 20-year-olds saying, you'll look like me if you smell like me. And it's funny, like that seems to be a reflection of the sleepiness, of the asleepness of the people creating these adverts, selling them back. So it's almost like a negative resonance on itself between how we represent ourselves and how we try and mimic what we're trying to represent ourselves to be. It's kind of like a mirror facing another mirror, and it goes nowhere. It's just once you wake up as well, the adverts don't seem to work anymore.
What would your advice be to anybody who is just starting to look at the information for the first time?
Yeah. Keep an open mind. Don't be scared to be scared. You will get scared. That's absolutely normal. There will come times when you will reject the information. That is absolutely normal as well. And but you'll find that there's a niggling feeling in the back of your head that says, I just really, really, really want to know what the truth is about life and what my purpose is here. And that's an unstoppable force of consciousness, because we are all this consciousness personified as 3D spacesuits. It's always about the why, and in the why, that's where you find the divinity. And to me, as I was saying about individuality earlier on, every single journey is very personal. Like what I do with my work is very personal to me, which I think everyone needs to realize that no one is ever a guru, no one is ever anyone who can give you the answer, because they can help you find your own answer, but that you need to walk through that door yourself to find out who you are. So be very careful with books or videos or messages or groups that say they have the answer. The only answer really is that there is love, and you have to do it for yourself. And I think we try and encompass that as well. Like one of the signs says, don't believe anyone, including me. So be an individual. Like take everyone's idea at face value and consider it, but then see how it resonates with the inner truth of your connection to the source.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I want to make aware to all the viewers of Freedom Central. Please know that don't believe anything we say. The only truth you own is the truth you find for yourself. This has been Mel from Freedom Central, chatting to Charles Torres Veitch in Conscious Streets of Amsterdam. Speak to you later.
Give me a hug.
Oh. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mel. That was great. Thank you.